Transportation in the Rocky Mountains. Always changing, always a challenge. The 1880 arrival of the railroad in Leadville meant travelers and freight no longer had to move by stagecoach and horse-drawn wagon over steep mountain passes. Ores could be shipped at lower prices, and local citizens could buy cheaper and more plentiful goods. The bridge you see here was once part of the Pikes Peak ocean-to-ocean highway that included US 24, a transcontinental route from New York to Los Angeles. The PPOO was one of the better-known motor trails that sprang up around the country in the early 1900s. More than 250 named trails were created to draw tourist dollars into the communities along the route. Towns paid annual dues and agreed to improve local roads in exchange for inclusion. The signs that each motor trail association posted on utility poles were usually the only guidepost motorists had to the often unpaved road of that era. Named motor trails faded away in the 1920s when the federal government adopted a standardized numbering system for highways. Scenic byways like Top of the Rockies help preserve this uniquely American tradition, vestiges of which can still be found all across the country. President Grant rode the first train into Leadville in 1880. Days of celebration followed. Those twin steel rails were the difference between prosperity and obscurity for early Rocky Mountain communities. Settlements served by rail thrived, while many of those that were bypassed became ghost towns. The railroad's stranglehold on transportation was broken by the appearance of the automobile shortly after 1900. Despite a lack of good roads, many Americans started touring in the new machines, no longer limited in their choice of destination by the presence or absence of rail service. The scenery of the upper Arkansas Valley was a magnet for motorists, and automobile tourism began to play the vital economic role it still has today.